Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video, and we're going to be making something similar to this today. Okay, using some new stamps. I'll just show you those in a second. So a bit of heat embossing over the top of a nice ink blended background, keeping it really simple today in terms of sort of the layout and design and stuff. So hope that's going to be enjoyable for you. This video supports my blog post today for the Inspire Create Challenges blog. So please do pop along to that. The link will be in the description there, so please do check that out, and then you'll be able to see all about the challenge, how to enter, and also see all the other design team makes for this challenge this time around. So of course, as always, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, and I really would appreciate some thumbs up as well. Just help me grow my channel. So our challenge this time around is actually a colour challenge with a twist. It's any red, any pink and any purple. So I actually picked out Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo and Real Red. Okay, so not instantly thinking that these would go together, but actually when I started playing with the colours, did a few different trial runs with these to see what I wanted to do and what combination to do. So this is what I settled on, and they actually ink blend quite nicely because you've got that transition between the sort of the purple to the red with the pink in the middle there, especially with Melon Mambo. And of course pink and purple can be a bit subjective. I don't know, you know, where does Berry Burst sit? Is it pink or purple? You know, so and that kind of thing. So anyhow, these are the ones that I've gone with for today, and we're going to do a bit of ink blending on there. So the stamp set is a new one. It's called Sketch Butterflies. Okay, so now the catalogue, the annual catalogue has gone live now. So I was able to put in another order for stuff that we couldn't get in pre-order, and this was top of my list, or practically top of the list anyway, of things to get. I really like butterflies. I think they're very diverse. You can use them for lots of different things, and I quite like this sort of scribbly look that they've got with them. And you've got some nice sentiments too, different sizes of course, which is always great, and it is a cling stamp as well. Alright, so that's what we're using. There are coordinating dies, so we've got the lovely sort of 3 in a row there, and then you've got that one and that one layer together as well, so you can do something different. And then these ones obviously coordinate with the stamps. So there's loads to offer with the bundle. Of course, when you buy both, you save 10%. Hokey cokey. So let's get moving on this then. So let's get a bit of ink blending going on. So we'll get our ink pads all ready. And in fact, I'm going to do them the other way around. I'm going to start with the purple this time. So on this one, I feel like the red has red and the pink sort of dominate, and we're going to try and make it so that the purple features more on this one. So the same colours, same technique, but getting a different look out of it. Okay, so that's the aim of doing it this way. And I've got a very well loved piece of scrap paper here to do some blending on. Okay, and obviously trusty blending brushes. Okay, so these are the larger ones that we have. Okay, so I think they're just called bending brushes. They're not called large blending brushes, but we also have small brushes as well. And just for comparison, that's the size of those. Okay, so you want to do more detailed work, you might want to use one of the smaller ones, but because I'm doing a background, the larger ones are brilliant. Okay, those small ones are great for like the layering masks that we've got as well. And I have one brush for sort of each sort of colour, and I do a light and a dark. Okay, apart from in red. Red is red. Okay, So I've got my dark pink and my dark purple one. Okay, and then we're going to use a piece of cardstock, and I thought I'd got one out, but apparently I haven't. Okay, so slightly smaller than my usual layer this is. So this is 3.5 by 5.25. Okay, just so that you got this nice dramatic white border on the card. Okay, and sometimes you want a bit of contrast and a bit of drama and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the other thing I want is just a teensy bit of scrap so that I can hold on to the paper and not get my fingers all pink. Okay, so far it's been okay today, and I'm probably going to tilt that a little bit onto its corner as well. Or do I want that corner? That corner? Yeah, let's do it this way. And I'm going to start with the purple. Okay, so when you're ink blending then, so I'm going to, you can't see the ink pad there, we're just going to load up the brush with some ink. Okay, and if you were to go straight onto the paper, especially with the regular cardstock, you're just going to get like a blob that won't sort of blend out. So you want to kind of take off some of that ink and add it on gradually. So you can add on the colour, but once it's on, you can't really take it away. Okay, so we're going to go nice and light, and I'm holding the brush down here, not around the head. So if you press on the brush head, you're going to get really heavy kind of colour. We want to go nice and light, so I'm holding it further down. Okay, and we're just going to go over that and over that and over that and keep blending out that ink. Okay, and coming gradually down the page as we do so. Okay, so make sure I stay in shot. I'm going down the page, but I don't want to go off camera, if you know what I mean. I'm going to move those out of the way a little bit so I can move it up a little. There we go. So hopefully this background doesn't sort of distract you too much, because obviously there's quite a lot going on, as in the background paper. Okay, so still want to build this up, so I'm going to reload the brush, distribute the ink a little bit by tapping off some of the excess, and we want to sort of start intensifying that colour a little bit. Didn't take as much off that time, but didn't load up as much either. And you just want to like I say, just keep building that up in circular motions. Okay, so now I want to make that corner much darker. So now I'm transferring the pressure that I'm going to apply to the brush head, and add some more to this, and I'm not taking off as much of the ink anymore, just leaving it. Okay, so you're going to get, depending on how new your ink pad is or whether you've re-inked it. Now I know for a fact that this gorgeous, oh whoops, that's moved in a slight, got ink everywhere now. Now I've had this ink pad since this new case got launched, kind of thing. I kind of replaced them all. So I've had this 5 years, this ink pad. So, and I've never re-inked it. So I don't think, anyway. Pretty sure I haven't. In fact, I don't think I have, because I think this is a Regal, and I don't have any Regal ink refills. Okay, so I've been trying to get them actually, because they come as you can get them as a set of 10, and I want to get them all, and I've been waiting for them to come back into stock. So now we've done with the purple, I'm going to close that up for a little minute. We're going to move to the Melon Mambo, so we'll switch brush and we'll go into that. Okay, And of course we've got this bit in the middle. Now I've got some residual ink on here. Now I'm going to actually start with some of that residual ink to start this blending process into this lighter area of the purple. Okay, and that's going to start bringing those two colours together. Okay, obviously we want to bring it in a little bit more. So again, we'll ink up the brush and we'll take off quite a lot of that ink, and we'll gradually drop in some more. But we want this to be darker towards the bottom. Now, just taking some of that off, and as that ink gets lighter, we can push it into the purple. Okay. But what I do want to do is make it a little darker along the edges here. So we'll just come in from the edge like so. And we'll do the same on the other side. So you might want to twist your paper a little bit, because I want you to be able to see the pink and the contrast in the finished card. Okay, and it is quite a bright pink, Melon Mambo, so you know, again, we can go quite heavy with this, but I don't want to make it disappear into the red. Okay, I think that's going to do. And you know what, if you think you need some more at another point, you can go back in and add some more. Okay, what you can't do is take it back off again. Not really anyway, as you'll see in a minute. Now we'll switch to the real red. So I don't use real red a lot, so that's going to be a really there's going to be a lot of ink in that ink pad, so I'm taking off a lot of that ink and coming in real gentle from the top, so I don't end up with a nasty blob, and bringing it in to this pink here. Get that transition between the two colours started with that light layer. Okay, and now we can start building up from the corner like I did with the Gorgeous Grape. Add a little bit more ink at a time. So you don't want to end up in a position where you've gone too far and end up with a result that you don't like. Okay, we're just going to focus on that corner now. This top edge, or what is the top at the moment anyway. Okay, just little circles, and then transferring that pressure again to the head of the brush, so you can really intensify that colour at the bottom. Okay, I think that's looking good. And again, you know, if you feel like you want to bring in some more of that pink at the edges, then you can. Okay, just using what was left on the brush there. Okay, so ink pads are away just for a moment. Okay, so that's what we have ended up with. Okay, now camera is interesting in that the way the lighting works and stuff, I think that appears blotchier than it does in real life. But I do like a little bit of the contrast and having some of those lighter colours coming through. And actually, when we because we're going to add a little bit of water to this, just going to grab a little lint-free cloth. It'll sort of all just balance itself out anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little spritz bottle to apply just a little bit of water here and there. And it's kind of random, you know, so which is what we kind of want. and that's going to react with that ink because it is water based and lift it a little bit. Okay, so I'll just dab that off. Okay, and we can either let that dry naturally, or we can hit it with a heat tool. Okay, so either or, you can do whichever. Okay, but I'm going to pause you there, get that nice and dry, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I did give that a bit of a blast with the heat gun. It's not quite dry, okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to do our heat embossing over the top. So we're going to use the anti-static bag and get some powder on there, and that will take off any residual, you know, just dry that out. So any little dampness will be counteracted by that anyway. So that's a good little tip for you to use there. And we'll just use the, I don't want to touch it again, so I'm just going to use this scrap of paper that I've got and just brush off any of that excess powder. So I've got this embossing additions kit. Comes with a great brush and some reversible tweezers, which are really cool. So now we've got that all nice and grease free and all that kind of stuff, we can start stamping our butterflies. Okay, so we'll bring in our stamp here, and we'll be using the Versamark ink. So this is a clear sticky ink. It's designed to create like a watermark effect, so you'll be able to see it, but it's very, very pale, especially on tone sort of style stamping. Okay, but the advantage is that this also the excuse me, the embossing powder will in fact just stick to that, ready for heating. So light tapping just as you would any other ink pad. Okay, make sure that transfers across, and when you're working you will be able to see that there's like it's almost like a ghost image. I don't know whether the camera would even, I don't know whether you're seeing that at all, but in the light I can see roughly where that image is now that it's starting to settle a bit, it's starting to disappear a little bit. So if you are thinking, oh gosh, I can't see it anymore, the top tip there is to actually bung on some embossing powder. Okay, because you can just go back now, just watch you don't disturb your powder, obviously, but you can always reapply it. Okay, so now I can see where those butterflies are going to be, so I can just chuck some powder on that a little bit. Okay, and I can see where both of those are. Okay, but like I say, you may not need to do that, depending on how fast you're working and stuff. Probably should have some scrap paper underneath here because I want to stamp off the page. Okay, so you want to take it all the way to the edge to make the background look sort of natural. Okay, twist and turn the butterflies so they look like they've got some movement. Okay, we might just pop some edges of some wings in here and here as well, maybe just a little bit over here just to fill it up. Okay, ink away. That is a sticky ink, so do make sure that you clean it thoroughly. So I like to get the worst of it off with my chamois, but then switch to the stamping scrub and the stamp cleaner to make sure that I've got it all. Okay, gonna grab that with my little forceps now and get the rest of the powder on this. Okay, You might find that you've got better grip in other places, so sometimes you just need to move it around a little bit. So if there's any grease on your fingers that transfers to the cardstock, the powder can cling to that. Probably needed something on this edge here, but I think it'll be fine. Or shall I add something? Shall I add something to that corner, because it just feels like there's a little bit of a space there. So again, we can just take a bit more ink. That's no problem. And it's only going to be just a little dab of something, but it just means it doesn't look quite so empty. Give it a bit of a flick. Make sure you've got there's no specks where you don't want them. Okay, the anti-static bag, the little powder tool thing, should take care of most of that. Okay, and we'll keep that to one side to put away in a bit. And then we've got to heat this. Okay, so I am going to leave the sound and stuff on, right? Because some people really enjoy the noise of a heat gun. If you do not like the noise of a heat gun, please do turn down your sound. Okay, because this will be loud. Okay, but I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see it's turn glossy. It is difficult to capture that on camera, especially with the white embossing powder, but let's just see how we go. All right, okay, so it's on its way. Sorry, motorbike just whizzed past the window. Off we go. Okay, so I was just twizzling that in the light to see if I'd got it all. You'll see that the powder turns shiny, okay, and I don't know whether that's coming across now, but it turns shiny, okay, so you just want to be looking out to make sure that you've got it all, basically. So that's what I was doing, and by hitting on the back, it kind of helps to sort of flatten back that cardstock. It will curl up. Remember, there's lots of ink on there, and cardstock has some natural moisture to it anyway, and that will cause it to curl. Okay, all right. That's all done. Okay, and I think that looks amazing. And those splatters just sort of disappear, make part of the background. The fact that you've got light patches, dark patches, it just all sort of gives it that lovely movement. Okay. So this panel is going to be given a bit of extra rigidity anyway by adhering it just onto a white layer. So it's just white on white, and that will help with this slight warping that we've got here. Okay, and as I say, just makes it a little stronger and easier to work with. Okay, so just lining up all those borders, making sure it's nice and straight. So this piece of cardstock is just basic white, regular basic white. That is, oops, 1/8 of an inch. That's that. There's powder on my desk. 1/8 of an inch larger than the panel itself. Okay, looks beautiful. Okay, and let's say I've done that. So the purple's at the top and there's more of it. So even though it's exactly the same technique, we've got a totally different look to the card itself. Alright, so I'm going to bring in some ribbon, which I left over there. So on this card I've used this this striped white ribbon, but no, I've actually got this iridescent ribbon as well, which is really cute. So I might just so that you've got a different, something different to look at, I might switch up to this iridescent striped ribbon. This looks so gorgeous. And again, this is something that was wasn't available in pre-order, or maybe it was and I forgot, I don't know, can't remember. Anyway, the point is I've got it now, which is marvellous. And look at it, it's just so lovely. So it's got that nice sort of sheer look to it, and then it's got that lovely shine when it hits the light. So that's super fabulous. So I like ribbons that you can use with lots of different things, different colours and different oops, I pulled that a bit too hard, didn't I? Okay, so this one's going to be a bit of a chameleon, I think, and actually while I'm tying it I can see gold in it and I can see green in it and all sorts of things. So depending on the conditions, I think you're going to get some really cool effects with this. So holding the both tails together, snipping it, and then we can tidy them up once it's on the card itself. Okay, so I'm just going to use some regular sticky tapes to pop that across the card there. Okay, so we'll just turn that over and just get some sticky tape, which will keep it nice and secure. So I want the you know, the big deal to be the background, right? So I don't want this a great big sentiment. I want to be able to see those colours and that beautiful background that we've created. Okay, so having a sheer ribbon helps with that. It adds something without distracting from that as well. Okay, we've got our bow ready as well, so we can twist that or double it up, or sorry, crinkle it up to make it look like it's knotted if we want to. Okay, but next thing to do is just add that to a card base. Okay, so we'll just always have my I cut my own card bases. So this is just short of half an A4, so I cut it at 4 1/8 lengthways. Okay, and then score at 5 7/8, and you get one of this size card. Oops, don't know what I'm turning that. I want to turn that over. Okay, and we'll just use up some of these little. So I keep all the little bits, edge pieces off the dimensionals, and it's perfect for things like this, where you just want to be able to secure some pieces like this. Okay, you can just use the regular ones, but you know, if you've got stuff to use up, just use it. There we go. We may as well just use that little piece just to secure the middle a little bit. Just make sure we don't have any bits that are going to cave in. Okay. And the backings are really easy to take off. Some can be very fiddly, but these are easy peasy. And if you want a bit of wriggle room, a couple of dabs of glue on those sides and corner pieces are going to help you. Don't have to, but if it's something that you're concerned about, you can do that. And then you can just line that up again and drop that down. Okay, voila. Still a little bit bowed there, a little bit in places, but you know what, I think it gives it a little bit of character. Okay, so let's get our sentiment stamped then. Isn't this lovely? You brighten up so many of my days. Isn't that nice? Did it in gorgeous grape on the other card. We'll switch to real red. Okay, and we'll just grab, I'm just going to see if I can find a suitable piece of scrap cardstock. This looks like a good candidate. So anything like this, it's perfect to keep in your stash for things like this. Okay, there we go. And we're going to use our wonderful the stylish shapes. These are a great basic die set if you're just starting out, if you're one of our new demonstrators that are joining at the moment, taking advantage of the brilliant joining offer we've got running through May. This is a great die set to add. Some basic circles and squares and these lovely banners with the little stitch detail. Fantastic addition. Use them a lot. Okay, so we'll get that centered over there and just a little bit of tape to secure that, and we'll just run that through the cut and emboss machine. Don't have to die cut it, of course. You could just stamp it on a strip and cut it down that way. Okay, so that's going to go on there, like so. And I think this time we will pop it up. I just used, I didn't pop up the one on the sample card, but I think I will for this one. Okay, it's just options that you've got. Adds another little bit of texture and dimension. Okay, and we can have that straddle across the ribbon, so you've still got that lovely iridescence going across the top, and hanging off the edge brings it all together in a beautiful way. Okay, and then we can use a lovely mini glue dot, my favourite way to add ribbon to a card. So we'll just press that knot onto the glue dot and lift that off. I tend to use a pokey tool though, so that then I can just use that to position it onto the card where I want it. And because it is so sheer, it's not going to matter too much if it hangs over some of that wording. Okay, so just popping that on there, and I think I might just leave it reasonably straight, like so. And if you want to trim down the tails any further, you can. And then to carry through that iridescence, we'll pop in some iridescent pearls. So again, a pokey tool is really useful for this. And generally speaking, you want odd numbers of pearls or embellishments or whatever you're going to use. It tends to be more pleasing to the eye for our human brains to rearrange on the page. That one doesn't want to play ball. Where did it go? Is that the one? We'll pop that one up there. So you've got this sort of flow through the card. using the 2 different sizes that are on there. Love those. Another really great basic to have in your arsenal of stuff, because we like the stuff. And I can't get that back in. There we go. And you can colour these, and then you've got your basic rhinestones as well. You can colour those as well to match your project. So okay, so that's it done. Okay, and same colours, same technique, everything the same, apart from the fact that we have used more of the purple than we have of the pink, okay, and the red. And what I didn't show you on the sample card was that I just added just a touch of Wink of Stella onto these butterflies as well. Okay, so again, another optional extra. This is a clear glitter brush pen. It will move the ink a little bit that's in the background. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But it just gives them just that little bit of shimmer and helps them stand up off that background even more, and they just sort of twinkle a little bit when you catch them in the light. So just brushing a little bit of that here and there. Okay, I just wonder whether the camera will pick that up for you. Don't know whether it will, and it's hard for me to tell. Oh, actually on that pink one here, I think you can see just a bit of twinkle. Okay, it's lovely in real life, absolutely lovely. Okay, so there you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that. I feel like you're a bit close. There we go. Is that better? You can see them more closely. Remember, this is for the Inspire Create Challenge. Do pop over to the blog. The links are in the description. Any purple, any pink, any red is the theme. Okay, we'd love to see what you make. Okay, thanks ever so much for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.